So let's talk about India. So I think it's very clear how you think about China, and and you think that that ascendancy, that position could continue. The weakening of the US, UK kind of living on past laurels.
Yeah.
So how do you see India in that geopolitical setup in the next decade?
India, India is like Africa. It continually disappoints. Now, I tell you what it is. That what I see now is all these unicorns coming up and all that.
Yeah.
That the population size was an advantage and a disadvantage.
Yep.
You see, if 10% of the population is doing all right, you got an economy of 130 million people. But those 130 million people, maybe 100 million people, are living at the standards of the developed economies. Now, anybody who is in consumer goods business, 130 million people market.
Like
so everybody's kind of pouring in, twice the size of UK.
Yeah.
Everybody's pouring in with foreign investment. India is a good bet, and because it is a democracy.
Yep.
I mean, the government is not to be trusted with any contract it signs, but that's another. The whole Vodafone story is terrible. But what has not happened? What has not happened is any basic agreement on what is the economic path forward.
Okay.
Everybody's on Hindutva or secularism. That's a minor problem. That's a problem, but not in terms of economics. There's still no agreement on how important private business is. No politician, and I mean no politician, would stand up and say private business is good for the economy. There are all sorts of, and political power.
They have done a fair amount of disinvestment. The public sector has shrunk. But I guess if I frame it in terms of some of the questions, so do you think that some of the dislocations of supply chains in China is a benefit that India, it's India's opportunity to lose, right?
It could be, but it is not.
You're not seeing that happen right now.
Again, when the Chinese do something, they do it without reservations. Here is a policy, we're going to implement it. Whereas India is actually still afraid of being totally open.
Right.
From the Congress days onwards, national self-sufficiency, Atmanirbharta, it's a complete waste of time. India was one of the most prosperous open economy. That's not the story the independence movement told us. India was the 7th largest industrial economy in 1947. 7th largest industrial economy.
Is that right?
Absolutely. Nobody remembers it. Oh, the British deindustrialized us and all that. All rubbish.
Okay.
And then we got into this autarkic development on the Soviet lines. Between 1991 and 2005, we had growth. But that was because the global economy was growing as well.
Yes.
We had a good time. We had a good time. When the global economy stopped, we stopped, and we haven't really recovered. Modi 1 was doing all right until in the middle of it. But again, make in India.
Maybe this is a controversial topic, right? So Modi 1, you could argue like a big country like India, like in China or the Soviet Union, you need a strong leader at the top who just, policy is right or wrong, but he sort of just takes an iron hand at it. But the collateral damage of that is, the loss of, some of these freedoms that people have held dear, loss of pluralism, the sort of, I'm not taking a side or saying that that's my point of view, but do you have a point of view on this?
Old guys were not as good as people think they were.
The old.
After all, in the sedition was introduced by Nehru. You know the story?
Yes.
The First Amendment that Nehru introduced, which basically took all the freedoms away, or qualified all the freedoms. No, you see, they were centralized, they were terrible. And this current terrorism legislation was first introduced in 1968. I know about these guys. And the thing is that there is no consensus about which way India will go. Even in the ruling party.
Economic lens or?
Economic lens, And we still don't know why India is a nation. We're still going on. Is it Hindu? But also, I think what's interesting is that no reform lasts more than 3 years, maybe 4 years.
Right.
Modi one was very good because Modi one has freshness of vision and so on, health, and gender. I mean, I very much supported Modi one. I lost a lot of friends because I supported Modi one, but it doesn't matter. But Modi 2 has gone back to the old national question, if I may say so. And luckily, if I may say, COVID has saved them because in 2019 they were starting battle on various fronts,
right,
like CAA and NRC and all that, you know. And they're really going to fight the Hindu nationalism card hard. They've been stopped for 2 years.
I guess they've taken the foot off.
They may resume.
Right, yeah.
But I think, you know,
the Northeast is exactly.
Yes, yeah. Again, you see, all this Hindutva is North Indian business. It's all the Indo-Gangetic basin, where completely ignored all of South. Right. I keep on saying the South is not the same as the North.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, they may be Hindus, but you know, even the Muslims are different in North and South.
Right.
And so I think I don't mind about Hindutva, not Hindutva. I want them to respect private business and not interfere all the time, let people grow big, and treat foreign capital with respect. I mean, there's Vodafone. How can a country behave so abominably and dishonestly?
In terms of
we are sovereign. You may be sovereign, but you're not actually able to do anything you like. Not in the markets.
Right.
The markets and the money will go like that. You know, boom. Obviously, because I said there's 100 million people to sell to, so everybody's tempted to stay in rather than go out. But India could have 5 times as much foreign capital coming if they, and also if they treated the private sector with respect and not gone harassing. So I think, again, you know, this was historically a prosperous capitalist country, and it's commercial capitalism.
Right.
I don't know why these people, you know, went on to destroy. And I had a lot of hopes with Modi that at last, you know, he had done Gujarat, he knew about technology, and he was doing the right things. And then suddenly the second victory, and they now want to go back to their historical program. I mean, the thing about Article 370 has been in the BJP manifesto, or Jan Sangh manifesto, since 1951.
Sure.
Completely unnecessary.
So just to summarize that, so you think that that we don't respect commerce and the contract law in India as much as we could, and if we did that, we could attract a lot more foreign direct investment. But you also think, rather contrarily, that COVID saved the BJP because it made them take their foot off the Hindutva pedal. Because a lot of people think that actually there's a lot of parallels between how COVID destroyed Trump from peak popularity to demise, and they've been saved by the fact that the elections are not soon, right? And the memories are sort of short term. So in that context, just given the lack of a strong alternative as well, I mean, do you think that a third front, you know, led by the Mamtas and the sort of minority party supported on the outside by a Congress could actually be an option?
I think let me say this. As of now, I don't think BJP will get as many seats on its own as it has done in 2019. In 2014, I got it right. I was one of the few people who got it right, that they will get about 250 seats. Nobody was saying that. It's in my autobiography. And in 2019, I was more pessimistic.
Okay.
You know, but I think what's going to happen?
Yeah. What's the verdict in the next one?
Yeah. I think back to about 230.
Okay.
And but the crucial thing actually, crucial thing is that people concentrate too much on Lok Sabha. The regional parties will win in the regions, and they'll get the Rajya Sabha.
Love the Rajya Sabha, yeah. Which is not a bad thing, every time you have these bicameral, to have one party at the Lok Sabha and the other is a good outcome, right?
People worry about pre-election coalitions.
Right. Yeah.
Basically in India, party loyalties don't matter. Let them fight election, whatever, and then looking at arithmetic, go form a government.
I mean, there's a lot of horse trading anyways after that, right? So,
because these people are rivals of each other in regions.
Yep.
Right? Congress has a history, but it's lost all of UP. And it's a poison pill to go with Congress in a pre-election. What you do, you sit and I could have been Prashant Kishore, but I'm not. No, it's very interesting because the West Bengal defeat is very interesting. That despite the size of the party, despite activism and so on, and they're planning it for 4 years, and they didn't win. Because I think they had no base, so they bought the candidates from TMC. I heard something recently, I forget what it was. He said the going thing is run with Congress, get elected, and then you'll get 20 crores to join the BJP. I.e., think of not which will compatible nationally. Will you win in the local seat or not? Get the local seat then. Because everybody is open for sale. Absolutely everybody is open for sale. In that way, it's a very interesting system in which exactly. Right. But where leadership matters. Right. You have to have a strong leader. Because where I think UPA 1 and 2 went wrong. UPA 1 was all right. UPA 2 destroyed itself because the leader was not strong. Yeah. The cabinet wouldn't listen to him, and then they destroyed themselves.
So do you see any regional party leader with a stature that could actually lead a third front?
Well, maybe Kejriwal, or maybe, but I don't think the Kerala man is going to run nationally. Pinari Vijayan. Otherwise,
And Mamta, she could have aspirations, right?
Yeah, but she is no. I doubt that she'll have national appeal. Right. Unknown. I mean, at least Kejriwal has got Punjab and Haryana and maybe.
But I guess in the past you've had all kinds of people like Devi Gowdas and all who came out of nowhere. And
when he came up, we all had a lot of hopes of him. But then he completely wasted his first term. He took him somewhere. Then he's been very, very much good. I think in COVID, state-wise performance of COVID, he's been on the good side. Yeah. He has been good. At least in North India, he has been the best.
Absolutely, yeah. Fantastic.
And then he communicates very well and genuinely means. Mind you, Delhi is nothing in a little puddle compared to the rest of India.
Much easier to manage and administrate.
But in a sense, even people like Raghav Chadha, whom I know, but a very efficient water minister or whatever it is, and Sisodia is good. So there's more than just Kejriwal, and so we'll see. But I think that is the wrong way to think about Indian politics. I think it'll always be a coalition government.
Right.
Because even parties are coalitions.
I mean, there's factions.
There's factions within a party. So I think basically a party will have to get more than 200 seats. And the rest can be managed. The thing we had between 1989 and sort of 2008 or 2004 was that no single party could, and we were not used to it. So now everybody decided that there will have to be a coalition government. The principal party may or may not have the majority on its own, but nobody is going to have a single party government.
Got it. Down the free Auro mobile application now.